This year has been incredibly challenging, but it's what everyone signed up for. It's not challenging where you feel defeated. It's challenging where you feel energized. And I think that's a much different feeling of challenging than I think a lot of people get to experience. I don't have a to-do list because there's so many things to do. So when you just do something, you have to be happy with what was done and not be unhappy with what was not completed. So let's focus on what was done and what we can handle, what we can take care of tomorrow. And whatever's after that is after that. Just focus on the moment and just take care of business as best you can for that day. I wanted to come to Cal State Fullerton because I love being a part of this community. That's been a lot of fun. I've been to a lot of sporting events, been to a lot of fundraisers, so I've tried to make myself available to Fullerton campus at large. And to start a program from scratch is pretty exciting. I know referees, I have connections with companies to get gear. You just kind of have those years and, to be honest, a decade of life experience as a leader of a program. So what it takes to running a program properly, I think that's kind of where Loyola Marymount helped me the most. I think the hard thing about starting a team is sifting out people that we didn't think would help our culture. Most of the freshmen that came in here are not only they're young in age, they also were inexperienced with water polo. So I wasn't worried about water polo. I was worried about, are they going to help? Do they want to be a part of something bigger? How are they going to help add to the culture? So again, having the youth in your program is helpful, but it also helps because they go along for the ride. They enjoy this. They want to be a part of this. They want to buy in immediately. So you get that immediate buy-in, and then you have to work to maintain that buy-in throughout the course of the year. We're not going to build a wrong culture. We're not going to sell ourselves to a player that we don't think can help us in the culture first, locker room second, classroom third, and then finally just helping us in the pool fourth. So we're not going to screw that thing up. A typical Cal State Fullerton women's water polo athlete will be tough. They'll be gritty. Most of the student athletes that are here have had to fight to get to this place, whether it's having a part-time job on the side, whether it's busting their butt in high school just to become eligible to come here. And they have a lot of obstacles they have to overcome to get here, so they will have that fight and that heart and that drive. So we have to, A, recruit that, and B, foster that. That's going to be our culture. It's going to be part of what we are. So we're going to be a tough group that's really scrappy, and that's what I see in a lot of our other sports teams that are successful here on campus. So we'll have exactly the same thing. We can't talk about winning championships before we talk about how to win a game on a Tuesday. We can't talk about winning a game on a Tuesday until we win a Saturday recruiting trip. We can't win that Saturday recruiting trip until we put in the effort in August where we show up at Junior Olympics to watch. I mean, it all starts at this basic level. And if we just keep pushing forward, we'll get there. But we can't look way ahead and look past the horizon. Just focus on your next step. Now we have to blend the current student athletes on the women's team with the incoming student athletes we have coming in. We have about 10 incoming student athletes already signed. So of those 10 plus the 13 coming back, I mean, how do we get that 23 to buy into what we're doing next? And that's a big challenge, but it's something that we're going to be cognizant of. But we're also going to be smart and take the right steps moving forward. So there's no secret to it. There's no step one is this, and then going forward to step 5 is this. It's just making sure we're cognizant this is going to be a long path, and we'll have some mistakes along the way. The coaches will make mistakes, the athletes will make mistakes, but let's just try to fix it together, and let's try to do this whole thing together, because it'll be a lot more fun when we do it that way. I think my favorite moment was when we got on team vans to go to UC Santa Barbara. Just the fact that they got in the van. I think a lot of people thought this season would be really tough and we would be essentially lambs to a slaughter. We would essentially be a team that everyone runs through, that everyone just destroys. And the fact that these guys have fought, and even when they knew the outcome still wasn't in doubt, we were going to lose a game and how that was going to go, they still got in the van. And they still really wanted to be a part of that, and they knew what was going to happen. Some games they're destined to have a chance to win, and some games they're destined to lose. And the fact that they got in the van, I think, is something I was really impressed with.